Shade 45, I got one of my favorite people and one of my favorite guests here, Estevan Oriol. Welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you, brother. How you doing?
I'm fucking awesome. For those that don't know, Estevan is one of the best photographers and just one of the best photographers and one of the premier photographers in Los Angeles. And I know you from LA Portraits, which gave a really fucking in-depth, behind-the-scenes view of LA Mexican culture. And not just Mexican, there was some Samoan cats up in there, hood culture, like this LA hood culture that I don't think a lot of photographers would have been able to get.
Yeah, at that time, that was like 20 years worth of photos of like all the, like underground gangster culture here in LA and some low riding. And I've been taking those photos since the early 90s.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from here, from Santa Monica.
Okay.
I was born at St. John's Hospital. So for me, I'm born and raised here, and all this culture is like, part of the way I grew up. So that's the difference. Like a lot of times you'll see motherfuckers that'll be like not from the shit and then like, oh, help me understand it. And it was a person from the culture taking pictures of your culture. Yeah.
And it wasn't fetishized. It was just like, this is what it is. And you could really see that in the portraits.
Yeah, that's what I try to do is show, like when people come from out of town, they just try and show like the most negative version of it, or they try and like make it soft, but I just like to show it, as it is.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
I remember driving with a homegirl of mine that went to Yale, and we was going to some shit down in fucking South Central or something. It was like a swap meet we wanted to hit, and she saw like a black guy on the corner, and she was like, look how majestic he looks. I was like, it's a fucking black guy, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, dog, like, why are you looking at him like he's in the zoo, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I feel like you doing that shit, there's none of that. It's like just man to man, and you really get to see the people you shoot them as they are.
Yeah.
Humans.
Yeah. I've been in situations like that too, where I was showing people around town, and we were down there by Skid Row. And I go, man, on any given day, you could just see some fool walk around here butt naked, freaking out,
Yeah.
And right when we bent the corner, sure enough, there was a guy walking butt naked, carrying one of those valet parking signs. It's like, god damn.
That was my first trip to New York, man. I'm on the subway. I never been to New York. I hadn't traveled that much. And the first trip to New York, man, and I ain't seen it since either, was this big black motherfucker, butt ass naked, shit all over himself, screaming for money. I'm like, so this is New York, huh? This is wild as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
That shit was something else. This is LA. It's a collection of street shit, celebrity shit. The cool thing with you too is you shoot street and celebrities. And you don't see that too much.
Yeah.
I want to start off with tell me about one of my favorite movies, and it was like this seminal moment where Pacino and De Niro worked together, and it looked like you shot. That was from Heat.
No, that was from Righteous Kill.
What's Righteous Kill? I didn't see that one.
That's the one with 50 in it, and it's the kind of thing where they were cops.
Yeah.
And they were chasing around.
What was that like shooting them guys?
It was very hectic. I was pretty nervous.
How come?
Because those guys are like my idols, I grew up watching all their movies hundreds of times. I used to go to the movie theater before they had DVDs or the internet.
Yeah.
You would have to go to a movie theater to see movies a couple of times, so I've easily gone and seen Goodfellas 3, 4, 5 times in the movie theater. Casino, I've seen all their movies like back to back a gang of times when they were in the movie theater. So I was just blown away how good how good those guys were back in the day.
How are they to work with?
It was pretty cool. It was fast. You know, that whole photo shoot was like 4 minutes long.
No shit.
Yeah, because I was supposed to do the photo shoot the day before, but I didn't really get a chance to, so I sat around the set for 8 hours, and then they said, oh, you know, we'll just go with the drawing, because it was for the Righteous Kill movie poster.
Yeah.
And they were thinking about having Cartoon draw the movie poster or me shoot the photos. And
Mr. Cartoon, the tattoo artist.
Yeah, world famous Mr. Cartoon. And then he was going to draw off the pictures that I took. And the next day I went and shot them both. It took about 6 hours to finally get to, you know, shoot with them. And then they're like, hey, where's that photo guy at? And I just go, right here, you know, and they go, you ready? I said, I sure am. And right when I said that, they busted out of these 2 double doors with like 20 people behind them, like the managers, assistants, and accountants, and everything, the whole team, the whole squad. And they posted up right outside the door that they opened. And I was like, hey, you know, can you come right here? And I shoot you right here. It was like a roll-up door.
Right.
And I shot Al for about maybe 4 or 5 frames, because that's shot on film. The whole book is shot on film. So I shot Al about 4 or 5 frames, and they go, okay, throw Bobby in there. And then Robert De Niro went in, and I shot him together. I shot both of them like 10 frames. So all in all, I got 15 frames to shoot for a movie poster. And I got the shot, and I was tripping, man. I was like the happiest fucking dude in the world.
Let's talk about the difference between digital and film. I find that people that learned on film have better timing. Like, you just, because you don't have a lot of shit to waste. You got fucking 32 or however many, 18.
Yeah.
So like, you gotta wait, bing, bing. Was that the same for you?
For sure. Like, growing up shooting film, you always had to pick your shot, and you had to be right on time with it, because nowadays the digital cameras, they have like a technique. All the photographers, it's called spray and pray. Right. And they just hold their finger down the button. It's pretty much like almost like motion. It's just like, you know,
like the new iPhones doing shit, right? Like
the burst.
Yeah.
It's like burst on the phones, but. So people do that, and they shoot 20 pictures of the same shot, and hopefully they get, you know, one good one. But if you shoot enough pictures, you're gonna get a good one sooner or later.
You just got that natural time, and you get a motherfucker looking the most human.
Yeah, you get trained after a while. When you're shooting film, like, you're like, fuck, you know, each and every photo is costing me money. Right. So the less I fuck up, the less I spend.
I'm looking at the Dennis Hopper one, who passed. Was he as crazy as they make him out to be? Like,
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was like, you know, I think he liked adrenaline, you know, and he just liked to be like in the mix. You know, he bought his house in Venice and Ghost Town when it was the hood. Right. And before it was gentrified and all that shit. So to do that, you gotta kind of have some, you know, different shit about you. You're gonna go buy a house in the middle of the hood and make some crazy ass house there, you know. Right. Like, you gotta be a little off there. But he was cool as fuck. I took Scotty Kahn with me because it was for an interview for Juxtapose.
So Scotty Kahn is James Caan's son. Yep. And James Caan played Sonny and
Little Sonny
in The Godfather, right?
Yeah. All right. So I took Little Sonny with me to interview Dennis Hopper for Juxtapose magazine, and it was a cool little thing. He had a hotel room in Marina Del Rey, and we shot him right there on the balcony. There's some of your most striking pictures are the small pictures that you put in here, and I want to ask you about this one. It's a setup. It looks like a little Hyena in a wheelchair. Yep. With a, what is that, a Cadillac? No, it might be a Regal. It's Cutlass. Like late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. And what's the story behind that? That's the story with that one is I had met her and told her, hey, you know, can we do a shoot one time, you know, and she's like, yeah, you know, and she drove down to you know, obviously she's handicapped, So she drove to meet me downtown in LA by where we used to live, and right there by the LA River, and I shot her under the 6th Street Bridge, and that car was already there.
For real?
Yeah, it was like, because back then the homeless used to live under the bridge there, so that was like a party car. People, blaze up in there, their little crack pipes and shit.
It's a pretty clean fucking party car, though.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That's an awesome fucking party car. So she was born handicapped?
I'm not sure. I
You didn't even ask, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes I don't ask, and sometimes I do.
You just got to kind of feel the vibe out.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel weird asking people, how come they're handicapped, but sometimes you just get in the flow and you're like,
And
hey,
you
what
get to
happened?
talk- yeah. Yeah, it's a motherfucker with like $150 on their face.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
kind of don't bring it up.
Yeah. You know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. You got what's my man? That's Pacquiao's trainer.
Yep.
What's his name?
Freddie Roach.
And he actually, speaking of handicap, he's got a disease too.
Yeah, he has Parkinson's.
He's got Parkinson's.
Yeah, but if you watch him, if you kick it with him, and
Right.
you can see the Parkinson's when he's just hanging out.
Right.
But once he throws the pads on in the mitts, he's just like right in the zone. He goes right locked into it, and you don't really notice his sickness as much.
Did you box at all?
Yeah,
Because
in the day.
back in the day. So
Yeah.
what was that like coming back to the ring to where they're training at and stuff?
I used to train at Freddie's old gym called Outlaw Boxing.
No shit.
It was back in '92. It was on Cole Street, across the street from Gold's Gym.
Okay.
And him and Mickey Rourke had this gym, and at the time I was working with House of Pain, and Danny was friends with Mickey.
Right.
So Danny Boy from House of Pain was friends with Mickey, so we'd go to the gym every morning and box right there at Outlaw Boxing.
A lot of people that's kind of how you got on. You were fucking with Cypress and House of Pain.
Yeah.
Touring with them, and then you just started shooting. Is that kind
Yeah,
of how it went?
I was a tour manager for House of Pain first, and then that was 3 years, and then I went with Cypress for 10 years. And so when I used to, hang out with the House of Pain guys with all their friends, which was, one of them was Mickey Rourke, and they had that gym. So I knew Freddie from back then, and then when he started Wildcard Boxing, I went over there and trained with another trainer named Doc, rest in peace. He was the main actor in the American Me when all the blacks and all the Mexicans were going to have a riot.
Yeah.
That was the homie Doc. He was my trainer at Wildcard, and then he passed away.
American Me was a shit, by the way.
Yeah, it was a sick one.
Let's talk about Eminem. You got Eminem right here. This looks like it was about, I'm gonna say this is second album. Like,
that was the one where they him and Dre did the video. It was like a comedic type video.
so that was the first one. That was the first one where his conscience is telling him what to do and what not to do and shit like that.
No, the next one. Where they were.
This looks like a good job for me. Is that I say I believe that's the second one.
Yeah.
Or maybe the third. I can't. I had a long weekend. You got to forgive.
Yeah.
A lot of ecstasy and fucking.
That's right.
Fucking stuck on stupid. What's that like working with M?
It's cool. Eminem's he's a cool motherfucker, and I'm actually gonna go see him tomorrow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, in Detroit.
You shooting him again, or?
Yeah. Me and Cartoon are doing a documentary on our little movement that we did throughout the years, like 25 years of me and his career, and M was a big part of that. So we're gonna go I already have interviews of him back in the day and footage of him back in the day, so we're gonna go get a current interview.
That's awesome.
For our documentary called LA Originals, coming out on Netflix.
Because you know the crazy shit too, man. Like I went to go see Eminem open for Souls of Mischief way fucking back in the day at I want to say it was a spot called Alvin's, and like the Detroiters just fucking, he didn't even blonde hair yet. Detroiters just was like, fuck this dude. We want Souls of Mischief, and he was like kind of bummed. And he had to come out here to fucking blow up, because that's kind of how Detroit is. They're just fucking hateful. They're just fucking hateful. So like,
they're kind of like that here too,
man.
Like their own people, you know.
Yeah. They don't want to see no one. Like if they're not getting up, they don't want to see no one get up. You know what I mean? They got more respect for people coming out.
Yeah.
So M came out here, got with Dre, and like blew the fuck up, and then blew up back in Detroit. He didn't blow up in Detroit and then come out here. So it was it's kind of, I guess my point was, you said LA originals. It is like M did have to come to LA to like get put on. So that's really fitting.
Yeah, I remember he played at my homie Big B, rest in peace.
Yeah.
He had a club called Unity.
Yeah.
And M played there, and like you said, he had brown hair back then.
Yeah.
And he came out doing My Name Is.
Yeah.
And after the first verse and the first chorus, by the second chorus, everybody in the whole place was singing My Name Is during the chorus.
That's gangster as fuck.
So I was like, man, this fucking kid is gonna go crazy. He's gonna blow the fuck up. If a crowd that never heard him before is singing all his shit, the second chorus.
Yeah. You already know.
You already know, he's gonna do his thing. So I was like, fuck, man. And then right after that, the blonde hair, and he blew up, and it was fucking out of control.
It was even crazy for me, like white people think that they're the only down white person, so then they see another white person, they're all like fucking skeptical of them and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And then my homeboy brought like the original Just the Two of Us with fucking Bill Withers on it. Like they didn't even clear the sample, you know what I mean? He was like, man, check this dude out, dog. He's gonna be the shit, man. Like, check him out. And I was like, I don't know. And then I went and got the album, and it was like, whoa. I just remember I was driving on Detroit's east side, going to see this little Mexican chick I used to fuck with, and was just like, holy shit, this dude is something special.
Yeah, he was like, you see it clearly, like right off the bat, right when you see him, like even to see somebody perform their first shit, and they're just going off, like doing it like a 10-year pro. You're like, fuck, man, like, this motherfucker's gonna do things,
It was kind of, it's like they're like, oh, he got on because he's a white rapper, da da blah blah blah. It was like they don't understand, like, that was a bonus for him once he got there, but that was not a bonus for him coming up. It was like that was against him. So like that's why you see that fucking, I don't know, I can't speak on his behalf, but I can speak on my behalf. And that was against me until I got on Jenny Jones, and then I was like, this ain't shit, you know what I mean? Like, you guys ain't nothing compared to all the fucking bullshit I had to fucking go through to get on. And like, I feel like that was the same way with M. They always looked at him sideways because he was the white boy. And then once he got on, he hit that stage, and he had fucking all the confidence in the world because the training camp was way harder than the actual war. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Speaking
of actual war, let's talk about this next fucking set of pictures. It's body bags. You got cops with some body with a dead body in a bag.
Yeah, that's
the morgue.
Yeah, the one with the cops and the dead body, that was in Skid Row. I had a shop down there called The Last Laugh. Me and Cartoon did a pop-up shop for about 2 years. And one day I was just walking after work, walking around the neighborhood, and I seen the cop standing there drinking coffee, just chopping it up, waiting for the coroner or whatever. And the body was there. You could see it's not taped off or anything. And there's a plastic bag there that was in front of the body.
Yeah. And
the cop was like, saw me I took actually like 2 pictures with the bag in there,
right.
And then the cop walked over, and I thought he was going to tell me, hey, get out of here, But he walked over and he kicked the plastic bag out of the way, and then walked right back and started chopping it up with his boy. He didn't say one word to me, so I was like, oh, cool, look at he's even set designing over here. Our department,
It's so crazy how used to, like, that's what you really get in that picture, how casual they are. It's like, how used to them seeing dead bodies. Like, they're literally just drinking a fucking cup of coffee waiting for someone to come pick up this fucking body. Yeah,
like I bet they found him in that bathroom, because those are those, public bathrooms down there in Skid Row. So fools are in there fucking ODing every day, you know? So that ain't shit for them.
Yeah, they fucking picking the motherfuckers up all the goddamn time.
The other shots were from the morgue. Me and Cartoon did a LA issue for Frank 151 magazine, and they said, what's some of the stories you guys want to do? And one of the stories I wanted to do was the morgue.
Why?
Because LA is such a big city, and there's so much shit going on here, and there's a lot of life here, but at the same time there's a lot of death. There's a lot of the gang shit, the drunk drivers, people, just fucking up on a daily basis, because there's so many people here. There's just so much shit going on. Death is like a little bit more. It seems more common here, like than if you go to like a small town.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I remember like being like my first few years in LA. I go out to the clubs and then I come back at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'm driving from Hollywood into Koreatown. This is like 01, before it started getting more populated over there, and it was just there was a loneliness and desolation that I really felt driving back. You see like one dude walking down the street, and it's like kind of like this ghost town, but like it's active at the same time. It was just like a really strange feeling, man. It was that only LA provided. It was interesting.
Yeah, it's a crazy, like, people get it all twisted when they see it in the movies or magazines, or they don't know, like, that feeling driving home alone. Like, even when I'm driving home alone in late hours of the night and I'm going through an intersection, I always look both ways for some idiot to just come flying through there through a red light. Like my homie Rascal the other day was telling me he was leaving an event, and this Asian guy ran the red light. He wasn't drunk or anything. Right. And hit his car and another car and killed one of the girls in the car. And
God damn.
But it's just like, you see that shit like almost every time you go home and late night. You see some crazy ass accident, somebody fucked up, and I just wanted to trip out in there and see what, this is such a big city and there's so much going on, like what that place is like.
The one with the close-up of the woman and her fucking toenails are like crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know who that woman was, or
no? Never met her before.
And they didn't tell you anything about her. They're just
no. Well, the craziest part about that picture is the black is gangrene. The black spots is
no shit. I thought that was tattoos. The black is gangrene.
Yeah, because my grandpa had it. I seen that before, and then your toenails, fingernails, and hair grow even after you die. So that's why the toenails are so long and unmanicured. But when I was shooting that picture, I heard the guy behind me, and he was by those racks, where they have the bodies, and he pulled the body out, and I could hear the sliding of the table coming out with the body on it.
Yeah.
But I could see the motion out of my peripheral vision, but I didn't look back. And then I heard these cutting, like he pulled plastic back, and then I hear this cutting sound, like something like it was what it was he was clipping the jawbone out, and to take it to identify the body, because nobody had come to pick up the body, and they didn't know who it was. It was a Jane Doe.
So you use the teeth to identify the body,
right?
Therefore, taking out the jawbone.
Yeah, he cut off the lower part of the jawbone.
Whoa.
With these crazy as metal snippers. It seemed like it was just went right through, no problem. But so I heard those two clicks, where he was cutting the jawbone, and then I got the craziest smell I've ever smelled in my life. I was just my eyes were burning.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I looked back and I saw the face. The hair was still on this woman. It was long gray, black hair. And the skin, everything.
How old was she?
She's probably in maybe 70s.
No shit.
Yeah, and the skin was all deteriorated. So all you seen was the skull, and it was kind of wet, and the hair. So it's like a skull with hair on it with just like a bunch of like body fluids on the bones.
No shit.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, can you imagine? Like, I was only there for about a half an hour, so I can't imagine what it's like being there
working
fucking 8 hours a day every day of your life and smelling that fucking smell every day.
And it's funny, you capture that just by showing these feet. Like,
right.
You're like, that's gnarly as fuck. I never even would have thought of that. But like, just the picture of these feet is a little glimpse of that. And it's amazing. We're talking about Estevan Oriol's new book. It's out. It's called This Is Los Angeles. If you really want a picture of LA, it's like this nice fucking combo of the glamour and the dirt. And it was kind of like what I was referencing. Like, I would be in Hollywood at these fucking hard to get into fucking ass clubs with all the fucking celebrities, and then you go home and then you drive through this shit. And, and fucking like, I'm in Koreatown. They got a fucking, they're running whores out of the apartment next to me. You hear people screaming every now and again. There's a body. Let's talk about this picture right here. This is
Lupillo Rivera.
Who's Lupillo Rivera?
He's a big Latino singer. He's Mexican.
Yeah.
He has a sister named Jenny Rivera. Rest in peace. There's a picture of her in there also.
He's smoking a cigar.
Yeah. He's just like one of the, he makes that kind of music that like all the cartels party to.
What's it called? The boom, and then it's like thug shit.
Yeah, I think it's banda.
Banda?
Yeah. Or corridos.
Corridos. That's All right. So this is what a lot of cats don't know if they haven't been in L.A. or around border towns. When they think of Mexican gangsters, they think of like the fucking American Me or Blood In, Blood Out. And then there's this whole other group of cats that got like fucking big ass belt buckles and the goddamn cowboy hats that are like really running the dope and shit like that. Can you explain that a little bit to people that don't understand? I'm not saying he's doing that, but that cowboy hat reminded me of that, being on Western and Santa Monica and seeing them cats out there.
Yeah. Well, those guys, I used to live downtown right off of Santa Fe and Olympic.
Okay.
And there was a club right next to us that they would all come party at. They bring they used to drive the trucks and they have the cow magnet on the door. And they come out.
I love it.
Yeah, they come out with the cowboy boots and the tight jeans and the cowboy hats.
Yeah.
And like you said, the big ass buckles, and then they would all go in there all happy and cool and like ready to have a good time. The end of the night, they're coming out all fucked up, drunk as fuck, shooting into the air and, doing donuts, and down there everybody's burning out and just screaming and shit. And like anywhere else, the cops would have come like within seconds. But because it was downtown, and at that time there wasn't no hipsters or no juice bars or nothing. So you were that's where you could do the most scandalous shit and get away with it, is in downtown. And those guys used to have the best time over there.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
But like you said, it's two completely different types of Mexican gangsters. There's the LA Chicano Mexican gangsters, and then there's the ones from Mexico.
Well, is that norteños? Like, I don't know the words or anything like that. What would they be called? The ones from Mexico?
I guess narcos.
Narcos.
Yeah, but the norteños, that's the kind of music it is, like norteño music.
That's what's up. Did someone send me some norteño music? I got Vicente Fernandez.
Yeah.
That shit jams.
Yeah, all those type of Los Tigros and that kind of music is big down there, but it's become big up here because there's so many Latinos over here.
There's a picture that you got of Anthony Bourdain.
Right, that's in the back.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, that's all the people that. Well, not all, but that's a majority of people that passed away. Is
that DJ AM right next to him?
Yeah, DJ AM, Anthony Bourdain, and Godfather from Booyah Tribe.
What was Bourdain like?
Bourdain was cool as hell, and he got it, you know. Like when you're around him, you notice like this guy gets it, you know, what life is about. It seemed like he had a pretty good balance of, you know, his life, you know, as far as traveling and staying in good shape, eating good food, and you know, being creative and doing your work, which was kind of like, you know, it looked like he had the perfect balance when you see from the outside, but there obviously was something, you know, more to him that, you know, was eating away at him.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's kind of crazy. Sometimes motherfuckers with depression understand things on a deeper level because they feel that they're living with the pain that they feel. You know?
Yeah, that shit is real. My mom had a lot of. She was disabled when I was about 8 or 9, and she had pain all through her life, like physical pain. Which, when you have physical pain, that causes depression,
mental,
and you know, because you can't do as much as everybody else is doing. So,
what was that like living with her?
It was cool, you know. Like, she was a great mom,
right?
You know, she wanted the best for me. She tried her hardest to do what she could do for me, and you know, she did do her best, and her being like that made me want to go out and work harder. You know, and I think not having my dad around to, you know, provide, like, you know, a regular family where there's a mom, dad, and the kids living in one house, it kind of pushed me and drove me to be a harder worker and, you know, smash. As soon as I wake up, you know, I'm out there.
Yeah, you see your mom going through it and not fucking like complaining.
We grew up on welfare, food stamps. You know, my clothes were bought at the thrift stores and shit like that, and you know, it kind of fucks with you, you know, as a kid, because like you're seeing all these other kids buying brand new clothes and shit, and your clothes are, you know, you get the you know, used shit, you know, fucking stains on it and everything already, and who knows what else is on the inside, you know. So fucking that shit kind of fucks with you, you know, as a kid. You're like, you know, but you keep it to yourself because you don't want to, you know, be out there going, yeah, check out my new shit my mom got at the Goodwill.
Yeah,
you know?
And trust, if they'll notice it and tell you about it. If you don't even need to tell them. Like,
they're putting you on blast.
Yeah, they'll put you on. It's funny, the other day someone was like, what was your favorite shit that you had? And I was like, I found it. Well, it's the same deal. Like, you get your shit from thrift stores, and I had found a Puma shirt at a thrift store, and I was just so excited. Like, I got to rock Puma. You know what I mean? Like, I was rocking Puma, and it was $1. I was so stoked. I wore the fuck out of that shit.
Hell yeah.
I wore it to a wedding.
That's right.
I wore
Get your money's worth.
Hell yeah. You got DJ Quick and Corrupt. DJ Quick to me is like... him and Warren G are, like, to me, two of the most humble producers I've ever met that have done so much for hip hop, and they don't talk about it. What was that like with doing it with Quick? And then Corrupt he's boisterous and outspoken. Yeah,
that was for the album cover Blackout.
Yeah.
That was a Soul Assassin studio production. We got that job through Richie Abbott. I know you know Richie Abbott.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he got us a lot of work with like DJ Quick and C Murder and Tech Nine and Merce and all them. So he brought that one through, and I shot it at it was called Gazari's back in the day. I don't know what they changed the name to now, but they were going to perform there, the Key Club. They were going to perform there later that night or something like that, so we shot some pictures around there. But it's always cool working with Quick. Like, I did his Trauma album cover, and we shot at A&M Studios over there off La Brea. And he's just like you said, you know, he's cool and humble, and he just knows a gang of shit. He could play so many instruments, and he's super talented. And, you know, he didn't get the credit, I don't think, that he should have got for what he did in the music game.
No, Pac, Sugar Free, all them motherfuckers.
Yeah, like, they made nothing but hits, you know?
Yeah.
And when you go back and you listen to all Warren G's first shit, you're just like, God damn, you know, like these fools were killing it at such a young age too, you know?
Yeah, straight up. He was like, yeah, I did endo smoke. I was like, that was for real? He's like, yeah, that's how I got in. I was like, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. Is there any pictures in here that I didn't ask you about that really meant a lot to you? Is it off the top of your head, or is it like all a blur?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's 25 years of shooting, you know, celebrities, musicians, artists, homies, gang members, you know, low riding, family. So, you know, it's just a lot of you know.
There's a lot of hot chicks in here. We didn't really talk about it because
those are you know, that's some of the book is I try to put like a little bit of LA portraits, a little bit of LA woman, then the rest of the shit I shoot. So that has a little bit of all that.
Yeah, I like the fucking titty ones or fucking the ass ones.
Yeah, you know, you got to put that in there. I got to have the balance.
You got it. Estevan, and they're gonna come back. You got another book that's out too that we're gonna talk about. What's the name of that one?
It was part of a group book. It's called Contact High.
Contact
High. It's
about
you know, everybody who shot on film back in the day on hip hop.
Yes.
So it's like they call them contact sheets.
Yeah.
And so it's the contact sheet and the photo of like all the best groups and the best moments in hip hop.
So the contact sheet is all of the roll, but very small, and then you pick which ones that you want to blow up.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I did in the beginning, like the first.
Okay, right here,
like that. Yeah,
that's the contact sheet. The book right here is This Is Los Angeles. It is like if you're looking for a fucking coffee table book that's gonna keep someone's interest and spark some great conversation, this is the one to get. Estevan Oriol, I really appreciate you coming in, man.
Thank you, brother. It's always a good time.
Let's get it.